So my client dropped these off today and he'll be back in the evening after work, so we do have to finish these in one sitting. These are TLB Mallorcas. Now, since we're going to be shading with black, we do want to remove this finish and make a darker burgundy. You don't want the contrast between your shading and the actual shoe to be very different. You want a gradual color, gradual shading. So this is too light. This is more of an oxblood. We're going to go with a dark burgundy. So let's get started immediately and remove this finish. Remember, stripping the shoe down is one of the most important parts of this job. You have to make sure all the old dye is removed, all the old polish. If you need to use a hairdryer or a heat gun to liquefy old polish and wipe it off, do that. But just make sure you don't skip on this portion of the job, or the dye will not cure into the leather. So take your time, go back and forth, and remove as much of that old finish as you can. But make sure you're at this point before you continue. I wish I could stress how important these little daubers are. They're going to make your job a lot easier. We're going to use burgundy, okay, an important base color, and it's going to really give the shoe a nice richness without going overboard. Oxblood can be a little too bright sometimes. A little bit like that. Okay. And a little bit of black. But with the black, we're going to use this little dauber and just add a little bit like that. There we go. That should be good. You want to use less on your brush than you think. Okay. We're going to go in layers. The brush really does hold distinct advantages. More control. The pressure of the bristles really pushes that dye in and allows for smooth application. Okay. Okay, now, you might notice some slight streaking. That's where the dye isn't completely absorbing into the skin. So there are other methods we can use to make sure everything looks fine. Let's add another layer, see how that looks. Yeah, we're running into the same issue. Okay. Take your time. So here's another no-nonsense method I really like for dyeing shoes, but a lot of people don't use it, but I really think it's a winner. So you just use your finger, get some dye on there, and then you're going to just massage it in. And I feel like this really does a better job at getting the leather to absorb the dye evenly, because the brush can leave some slight streaks. It doesn't have enough weight behind it to really push that dye in. It's really good for base coats. So you can see it's already a lot more even. A little bit of the brush there. So I got some lint. And we're just gonna do that instead. Okay. That just leaves a lot more even color. And you can even use the tip of your nail to shade into these little tight areas right there. Honestly, we might go a little darker with the burgundy, because it looks nice, but I kind of want a darker shade. Now, the truth is, I always get really nervous when I begin burnishing with a brush, and that's because a mistake can really cost you. If you do make an error, removing that burnish means inevitably that you're going to be removing that base layer of burgundy, meaning, unfortunately, you're going to have to start over from the beginning. So just be really, really careful. I found that you should get to the point where the brush is no longer saturated, and that is when you can begin burnishing. And you use more pressure to darken the burnish, and then you lighten up with your pressure as you get to the edges so that it's perfectly shaded. The last thing you want are these stark lines that look really terrible. They don't look like shading at all, and it reeks of a rookie mistake. So learn to shade, and that can be a challenge because it requires artistic ability, but it's truly worth it. So even if you have to use a throwaway pair or shade and practice on pieces of leather, it's well worth your time. I'll be the first to admit, though, that I'm still perfecting my craft. I'm still learning how to use the brush perfectly. And if you've watched my other videos, you know that I really like the airbrush, which is frowned upon in certain circles, but it really provides a perfect shading. The problem, though, of course, is that the airbrush has some real disadvantages. It doesn't really push dye into the leather, so sometimes it just sits on top and doesn't cure correctly. So you really have to use different tools for different jobs, but the brush is really the tool of the master. So I'm doing my best to learn it and to use it as often as I can. But it does take time, and it really does require a lot of learning and practice, and unfortunately a lot of failure before you get it right. Now, as I've discussed a lot on this channel, when it comes to shining, make sure to add a good 20 base layers first, especially if the shoe has a medallion. That can really prevent a good shine from forming. But it really requires that you be patient and that you begin with mirror gloss. You pack on 20 or so layers and then use your Pat Deluxe to continue shining and buffing over and over. But you can get a pretty good shine in about 20 minutes, and that's really the goal. But you don't need a huge amount of time to get that shine right away. If you're not getting a shine immediately, you need to add more wax. And that's really, I guess, would be the first piece of advice I'd give with shining. So this brush is not sold in the States yet. It's not imported by any USA seller, but it was a gift from Alan Lee, who is the owner of Patinas, and it's a goat hair brush, and goat hair is extremely soft and supple, and it's really, really great for improving your shine. Now, this is something I've never talked about on the channel before. It's one of my secrets that I employ for shining my shoes. So, as you can tell, the shoe looks really great. It's shining up really nicely. But sometimes on the vamp, you kind of want to get it to look shinier without adding too many layers. You kind of want to push the wax so it's feathered perfectly. And the way you do that, and I just learned about this from Alan, is you use a goat hair brush. So what you do is you add 1 or 2 drops and then you gently, using the goat hair, just brush it very, very gently. And this will not scratch your mirror shine, but it will shine all the leftover wax that hasn't been shined yet. It does such an incredible job. It's like a little mini mirror shine. And especially around broguing, especially around stitching, this does an incredible, incredible job. It's so gentle. You can remove wax and get it to shine, especially if it's stuck in hard to reach areas where your finger cannot reach. And what you get is just a really great look overall. And the shine just looks incredible. So I highly recommend it. I know it's hard to get, and this brush is quite expensive, but it's definitely worth it. It really is one of my secrets to shining. So I think the shoes came out really, really great, if I do say so myself, considering the time that I had, the limited time, the color, the shine, everything came out really, really great. So I'm really, really happy. The shine really did cooperate this time, and I really think looks quite nice, quite reflective. And the shading came out well too. I didn't want a strong contrast. I wanted a dark, rich burgundy with nice shading, and I think I accomplished that. So I'm very, very happy. Now, if you'd like to attend our next masterclass, that is July 17th in New York, hosted by Levi Elliott. It is with Justin Fitzpatrick. If you don't know Justin, he owns J. Fitzpatrick Footwear, and he is one of the legends in our industry. So I hope you can make it to that class. And of course, if you'd like to support the channel, visit theelegantoxford.com to purchase all your Saphir needs. We have everything there. So I appreciate you watching the video, and I hope you like it. I'm really, really happy with these shoes, and always love TLB Mallorca. They're one of my absolute favorite brands. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.